Mycroft is someone who is only mentioned in the original canon of Arthur Conan Doyle stories. He's only mentioned about 6 or 7 times. And Sherlock Holmes says about Mycroft that he works for the British government, but sometimes he is the British government. That puts Mycroft at the reins of power in Great Britain at a time when it was a world superpower.
So you can imagine my surprise when we first started talking about doing a Holmes novel, and Kareem said, except it won't be about Sherlock, it'll be about his brother Mycroft. People also have been asking when you developed a love affair with Sherlock Holmes.
I started to fall in love with Sherlock Holmes when I was a kid living here in New York, and on Saturdays they would have, I think it was either on Channel 5 or Channel 11, they had Sherlock Holmes Theater. I always, at that point, thought that Sherlock was the greatest detective that had ever lived, and at the time I didn't know that he wasn't even a real person. When I started my professional basketball career, someone gave me a complete collection of all of the Arthur Conan Doyle stories, and I took it with me on my first long road trip, and I was captivated and read the whole thing.
Could you tell them maybe one small incident where you used your powers of observation to get at some competitor?
Okay, we used to play Detroit Pistons. They had a very good center named Bob Lanier. But I found out from the ball boys that Bob Lanier liked to smoke cigarettes at halftime. And I realized that if I could get Bob to run a lot in the second half of a game, he'd be in pain. I used that and gave Bob a hard time. I recently told him about this, and he said, "You're an underhanded dude, Kareem." But Bob and I are friends, and there's no hard feelings. I want to thank everybody for coming out.